Here's what you need to understand about pain. Pain will leave you vulnerable. Pain in your life will make you defenseless. And if the enemy is going to try to destroy you, he is coming while you are in pain because he wants you to make a life-changing decision while you are in pain. And so my caution to you is when you are in pain, when you are offended, and when you are hurt, when you are discouraged and the most vulnerable, don't you do anything. Don't make a decision about nothing, not about your money, not about your marriage, not about your ministry until the pain subsides, because you will wreck your life off of one spot in your life. Look at your neighbor, tell him, don't tear up your house just because you stomped your baby toe on the bedpost. I come today to tell somebody that the enemy saw you coming and he set you up while you were still on the way, unassuming, unsuspecting. He knew that you were great and he decided to take advantage of you. Well, here comes setup number 2. The brothers have moved from Shechem and now they're going over to Dothan, which is about 15 miles more down the road. And so they're drawing Joseph farther and farther away from his father. That is the plan of the enemy for your life, to draw you farther and farther away from your father. Look at somebody near you and tell them, stick close to your daddy. Tell them, stick close to your father, because it is the father who protects you. I see you, Janine. Stick close to your father. You may be saying, well, I don't have a biological father. My relationship with my daddy is not good. That's all right. God's got you. He said, if your mother and father forsake, I got you, I'll take you up. Look at your neighbor and tell him, my daddy's got me. Tell him, you don't ever have to have me, but my daddy has got me. The Bible says, as they're drawing him farther and farther away, he's now looking for his brothers, and he receives direction from a man that he does not know. Joseph does not know this man because Joseph now is in a strange place. He's in a strange land, and when you don't know your gifts, you operate in a strange place. Find yourself wandering about, trying to find a place. But look at somebody near you and tell them, get the direction and let's keep it moving. Dothan actually means 2 wells, which gives us an indication of what was about to happen in Joseph's life. The Bible reminds us now that Joseph is isolated and he's wandering aimlessly. He's going looking for his brothers and he cannot find them. And when you don't know your giftings, you will look for stuff and for people who are familiar or people who can validate and affirm you, and you probably will not find them. So you got to understand how you work your gift, because pride will sneak in and find you in isolation. Look at your neighbor, tell them, don't isolate yourself, because you're going to need somebody on this journey where you're going. If I had to use a movie title for what the brothers were about to do to Joseph, it would simply be, I'm going to get you, sucker. I can only imagine that the brothers are mad. Look at somebody near you and tell them they're mad. They're saying, yeah, we're going to get you away from daddy. And if we can ever get you away from daddy. I remember my sister saying stuff like that. Wait till mama leave. You ain't never heard that at your house? Wait till daddy go to sleep. Look at your neighbor and tell him you can cut up and act a fool if you want to, but you got a sibling who knows when an opportunity presents itself. I want you to know that all of a sudden, here comes setup number 3. They have led him into Shechem and they're not there. He's come to Dothan, but here comes a setup. They're watching him while he's coming down the road. The Bible says in verse number 18 that they spotted him. Look at your neighbor, tell him the enemy saw you coming. Yes, your birth, he was watching. Yes, he got a tip off about your conception, and that's why he got in your mama's womb and tried to make sure that you were a miscarriage. That's why the umbilical cord wrapped around around your neck. That's why there were all kinds of issues while you were in vitro, because the enemy saw you coming. Look at your neighbor and tell him you were the only one who did not know who you were, but the enemy saw you coming. He said, oh, this one gonna be a world changer. Oh, this one gonna motivate people. Oh, this one gonna be a game changer. Oh, this one gonna shut it down. Look at your neighbor and tell him, because of who the enemy recognized you to be, he positioned himself. He didn't just pounce on you all at once. He sat back and he said, let's wait. Look at your neighbor and tell him he saw you coming.